With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule.
There are some human beings who have super knowledge and what we call supra-intelligence, great intelligence. And even though from the outside they look exactly like us, inwardly they are not the same. And that's why sometimes if we reach such height in intelligence, we cannot express it to the other ones who are in a lesser degree of intelligence.
Please stay with us for this enlightening lecture.
Supreme Master Ching Hai's lectures are not a complete meditation instruction. Please do not try alone. For free of charge guidance, please visit godsdirectcontact.org or contact any of our centers near you.
Vegan, becoming a saint.
Today's program will be presented in English and Spanish, with subtitles in Arabic, Aulacese, also known as Vietnamese, Bulgarian, Chinese, English, French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Indonesian, Japanese, Korean, Malay, Mongolian, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Punjabi, Russian, Spanish, Telugu, Thai, and Ukrainian or Uranian.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Saludos encantadores espectadores. Esperamos que las bendiciones de Dios abunden en sus vidas todos los días, llenándolos con esperanza y admiración. Soy Sebastián. Nosotros, los costarricenses, sentimos gratitud por ser conocidos como uno de los países más felices del mundo. Que todos los seres tengan la oportunidad de vivir en paz y satisfacción, y que todos los humanos pronto se vuelvan veganos para hacer esto una realidad para todos nuestros amigos animales. Bordeada por el Océano Pacífico y el Mar Caribe, la pacífica nación centroamericana de Costa Rica fue la primera en el mundo en abolir su ejército en 1948. Los fondos militares se canalizaron para la educación y la atención médica. Hoy en día, los costarricenses tienen una tasa de alfabetización del 98%, y el país fue recientemente clasificado como el número 1 en felicidad en América Latina. Entre las abundantes lluvias y la exuberante vegetación de Costa Rica, más de 1.300 especies de orquídeas muestran su delicada belleza, a la vez que abunda la vida silvestre como las personas ciervos, las personas monos y las coloridas personas aves tropicales. Más del 98% de la energía de Costa Rica es renovable y la cobertura forestal del país se ha incrementado al 53%, gracias a los esfuerzos persistentes por revertir la deforestación. En el 2019, Costa Rica recibió el Premio Campeones de la Tierra, el más alto honor ambiental de las Naciones Unidas. Costa Rica es también uno de los primeros países en promover el ecoturismo, que incluye visitas a áreas de belleza natural. Esto, a su vez, fomenta una mayor protección del medio ambiente, para que las generaciones futuras puedan disfrutar de la misma forma.
Don't be vegan. You must know how to spell it first. Who'd want such smart effort?
La maestra suprema Ching Hai, vegana, es una maestra espiritual, humanitaria y artista, famosa en todo el mundo. Ha sido invitada a dar conferencias sobre el método Kuan Yin de meditación en todo el mundo. Les invitamos ahora a ver Caminar por la senda del amor, una introducción sobre la maestra suprema Ching Hai.
We'll search high and low for a little love to bestow on all beings in all corners of existence. Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan.
La maestra suprema Ching Hai, como afectuosamente ha llegado a ser conocida, vive un mensaje que recorre la senda del amor. Humanitaria renombrada, artista y visionaria espiritual, su amor y asistencia se ha extendido más allá de todas las fronteras culturales y raciales a personas de todo el mundo. Personas necesitadas y sin hogar, instituciones de investigación médica, veteranos de guerra, personas desfavorecidas, discapacitados física y mentalmente, refugiados y víctimas de desastres naturales, etc. Nosotros somos testigos de incontables recordatorios de la compasión, la característica distintiva de esta dama solidaria, y de la fundación internacional que ha nacido a partir de su amoroso ejemplo.
Whatever we can share, begin with share. And then we will feel a subtle change in ourselves. More love will be pouring into our consciousness, and we will be aware of something. And that is the beginning. We are here to learn to grow, as well as to learn to use our power, our limitless power of love and creativity, in order to make a better world wherever we happen to be incarnated. Don't worry, I pray for you, okay, honey?
No solo son los seres humanos los bendecidos beneficiarios de su bondad. Las personas animales de diferentes especies son también las receptoras de su ilimitada benevolencia.
Hello, you grow so big now, you. Bon appetito. I love you. Good appetite. This is one of the reasons why we should be vegan. Love for all beings, extending love.
La maestra suprema Ching Hai, vegana, nació en Aulac Central, Vietnam. Durante sus primeros años, se la encontraba a menudo ayudando a pacientes de hospitales, a los necesitados, así como a personas animales heridas, en cualquier forma que le fuera posible. Cuando era joven se trasladó a Europa a estudiar y continuó allí como traductora para la Cruz Roja. Pronto descubrió que el dolor y el sufrimiento existen en todos los rincones del mundo, y su búsqueda de un remedio para esto se convirtió en el principal objetivo de su vida. En aquel tiempo ella estaba felizmente casada con un médico alemán, y aunque fue una decisión extremadamente difícil para ambos, su esposo estuvo de acuerdo en que se separaran. Ella se embarcó en lo que se convirtió en un viaje de más de 2 años en busca de la comprensión espiritual. Finalmente, en los más profundos lugares del Himalaya en la India, encontró un maestro iluminado quien le impartió el método Kuan Yin, un método de meditación en la luz y el sonido celestiales internos. Tras un periodo de práctica, llegó a la iluminación total. Poco después de su regreso del Himalaya, debido a la petición sincera de los que la rodeaban, la maestra suprema Ching Hai compartió el método Kuan Yin con otros, animándolos a mirar en su interior para encontrar su propia grandeza. Por medio del método Kuan Yin de meditación, ellos también han alcanzado una mayor realización, alegría y paz. Al poco tiempo, llegaron invitaciones desde los Estados Unidos, etc.
I saw that I was everywhere and in every creature.
Europa,
To see God is very, very simple.
Asia,
All religions tell you be a good person here and find heaven while you can.
Australia,
We are the sons and daughters of God. We are ourselves, the Supreme Master.
África
I will show you how to get direct teaching
y Sudamérica,
and keep the commandments and try to lead a more vegan life.
así como de importantes organizaciones para que la maestra suprema Ching Hai impartiera conferencias.
The peace and love that we most often talk about and seek, we have within ourselves. You must look inside and find your own treasure and find the real, lasting happiness. The future is in our hands. So you make it beautiful or you make it worse. It's up to you.
La maestra suprema Ching Hai ha desarrollado muchos talentos espontáneos que expresa por medio de pinturas y creaciones artísticas, música y poesía, joyería fina y diseño de ropa, expresando la belleza interna y externa. Los beneficios generados por sus creaciones artísticas han permitido a la maestra suprema Ching Hai crear una fuente independiente de financiación para actividades humanitarias, para mantener su noble misión de asistir a los hijos de Dios en momentos de necesidad. Aunque ella no busca reconocimiento de ningún tipo, la maestra suprema Ching Hai ha sido galardonada en todo el mundo por autoridades gubernamentales y organizaciones privadas en numerosas ocasiones. Entre ellos, el Premio Mundial de la Paz, el Premio al Liderazgo Espiritual Mundial, el Premio a la Promoción de los Derechos Humanos, el Premio Humanitario Ciudadano del Mundo, Premio por el Extraordinario Servicio Público a la Humanidad, Premio Guzzi de la Paz 2006, la Distinción de Honor de la Semana Musical de Los Ángeles y primer puesto de plata en los 27 Premios Telly 2006. Además, el 25 de octubre y el 22 de febrero se proclamaron como el Día de la Maestra Suprema Ching Hai en los Estados Unidos.
She also brings love around the world where there is hate. She brings hope where there is despair. And she brings understanding where there is misunderstanding. She is the light of a great person, an angel of mercy for all of us.
Agradecer a la Suprema Maestra su liderazgo, agradecerle su optimismo, agradecerle ese don de gente que tiene que la hace tan única y tan especial.
Es una impresión muy grata de ver un corazón tan noble, tan dispuesto a servir. Ella está sirviendo a todos los seres humanos, está sirviendo al planeta para salvarlo, para rescatarlo. Tiene un corazón noble, pero también un gran liderazgo. Sé que van a suceder las cosas que tienen que suceder.
La Maestra Suprema Ching Hai es una de las personas verdaderamente dedicadas de esta era, ayudando a otros a encontrar y crear una hermosa visión de nuestro futuro. Muchas grandes personas en la historia han tenido un sueño, y como ella misma expresa, también la Maestra Suprema Ching Hai lo tiene.
I dream that all the world will become peaceful. I dream that everyone becomes the Buddha. I dream that all the killing will stop. I dream that all the children will walk in peace and harmony. I dream that all the nations shake hands with each other, protect each other, and help each other. I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billions, trillions of years to produce this planet. And it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love.
Los Estados Unidos han sido honrados en muchas ocasiones con visitas de la maestra suprema Ching Hai, vegana. En 1989, en respuesta al anhelo sincero de los buscadores de la verdad espiritual, ella viajó al país para impartir su sabiduría y sus perspectivas. En esta fascinante conferencia, la maestra expone varios temas que incluyen las formas de distinguir a los maestros verdaderos de los falsos, alcanzar nuestro potencial interno más elevado a través del método Kuan Yin y la facultad de la omnipresencia de nuestro verdadero ser. Ahora los invitamos a acompañarnos en la primera parte de esta iluminadora conferencia titulada «Cómo lograr tu poder interior de mayor potencial», impartida por la maestra suprema Ching Hai, vegana, en San Francisco, California, Estados Unidos, el 24 de mayo de 1989.
Peace for Ukraine or you reign now. Russia, just go home.
Of many questions before I studied the Master's teachings, I read the Book of Changes, 易经, trying to catch the flow chart of my fate. I observed the living surroundings, feng shui, the elements of water and the wind, trying to better my fortune. I prayed and made many wishes in temples. However, all the efforts were in vain. I was finally tired of those useless philosophy, obsolete doctrines, and miracle stories. I wanted to have something real that I can see and I can hear myself. Last spring, Supreme Master Ching Hai helped me open my inborn enlightenment. Since then, everything around me has changed. In fact, nothing around me has changed. I changed my perspective of life. Every morning, I feel happier than yesterday. The Supreme Master Ching Hai has helped thousands of people recognize that the truth, the enlightenment, is tangible, is real, and we can use it in our daily lives. I believe that you also have lots of questions. Please get a piece of paper and write down any questions concerning your beliefs. Master will reserve some time to answer your doubts. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Okay. Thank you. 谢谢. That was very nice. Thank you. Finished?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's your turn.
Now it's my turn. And I hope the ladies and gentlemen will understand my somehow broken English. Every day for many years I spoke Chinese, and even up to the last minute Chinese was driving a car, Chinese food, Chinese conversation. I was in the car, I was wondering if any English will come by when I go to the stage. I was a little bit not really nervous, afraid that my English would die somewhere. But we will try it together with your blessing. Every one of us has a great blessing. The blessing flows out from our sincerity. That's what we call God's blessing. God's blessing is human's blessing. God resides within us. So with your sincerity and your devoted attention, my English probably will improve each minute. So my very dear friends and good brothers and sisters, it is the first time that we see each other, but I believe we have a lot of affinities in the past. According to Buddhism and even Catholicism, we believe there is life after life. We believe there are many so-called cause and conditions. Whatever happens today is the fruit of what happened in the past. That is the law of cause and retribution, what we call karma in Sanskrit. Karma, it just means whatever you sow, the same you shall reap in Christian terminology. You understand my English? Yeah, it's okay? Oh, you're very kind. Then I will get encouraged. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you, the ladies and gentlemen of a very busy society and very high standard civilization, would save a little bit of your very valuable time and even come here to listen to a stranger coming from a strange land. I'm so happy. It means God's blessing is with us. I'm surely doing something well. All of you are probably expecting me to say something more than just politeness and how are you and weather is fine. So I will get right to the point, not let you wait too long. Is that okay? Yeah. Everyone's comfortable? Yeah. You see, it's not the first time that I give some information in America, but before it wasn't very publicized, just in New York, in a small group of people. But anyhow, I was thinking, if we have some good things, then we are obliged. We have the duty to share it with our fellow beings, with our friends and brothers and sisters, whether they accept it or not. That is their full right. But I have the duty to proclaim it, to introduce it, and then let our brothers and sisters make the choice. Therefore, I feel bound enough to come and share with you this joyous occasion. It's a blessing from heaven or from whatever the mightiest power that you might name it. In different countries, we call this power by different names. In Chinese, they call this Tao. In Sanskrit, they call it Buddha nature. In other schools, they call it Chan or Zen. In Christianity, they call it God's blessing or heaven. But where is this heaven? We look in the Bible and it says, heaven is within us. It means in our heart. But if we operate on our heart, would we find any heaven? No, that's true. Yeah, we have, some people have heart attack and something like that, and we open it, see nothing inside. So there must be something else besides this physical heart. So actually, the ancient people, when they say heart, they mean our wisdom, our thinking. It's not this physical one. So how is it that the wisdom would be called heaven? Because if we have this wisdom, we feel we are in heaven. We feel so happy, so satisfied. Today, while driving to San Francisco, we live in San Jose at the moment, at my disciple's house, and she drove me here. We were talking on the way. She was telling me that since initiation, after learning the method from me, then she was practicing not quite very diligently, just off and on. Yeah. And then I asked her, have you acquired any blessing, meaning any satisfaction? She said, yes, definitely. Inside, I feel so satisfied and so joyous. But outside, there are some people who do not understand. She cannot use the language to express her own inner joy. Therefore, it's kind of creating some misunderstanding, because the language is not enough, it's not sufficient to describe this kind of inside joy. It's a heavenly blessing, because the word of heaven and the word of ours are different, because they're different spheres. It's just like the word of animal people and the word of humans are different. Even though we are living in the same world, animal people and us sometimes are living in very close contact. But the animal people will not understand us very well, and we do not understand the animal people. Of course, there are some animal people who are almost like humans, like the dog, the cat people, or the horse people. Sometimes they can feel almost like how human beings feel, and they can respond in a very humanly way. And we seem to establish that between the man and the pet person, there is some kind of a very, very close affection, no? Yeah. And we think we understand each other. Even then, there is still a big gap between a man and the animal people. Similarly, there are some human beings who have super knowledge and what we call supra-intelligence, great intelligence. And even though from the outside they look exactly like us, inwardly they are not the same. And that's why sometimes if we reach such height in intelligence, we cannot express it to the other ones who are in a lesser degree of intelligence. Is my English still clear? It's okay, yeah? Thank you so much for your kind support. I don't know how many 10 years since I use English. Since I left England, I hardly use English. Even in Germany, I would speak the German language. So since then, I think it's been about 10 more years now. I'm so glad to exercise my tongue again. I love to speak English. Yeah, I just have no chance, and I was so afraid today I might not express myself very well. So now we come back again to our topic. Why is there such a difference between human beings? We can see very well for ourselves. In our daily life, we meet different kinds of people. Yeah. For example, the scientists, they are a little bit more intelligent than the average people. We expect so. Even though from the outward appearance, they look exactly like us. You cannot tell at first glance who is the scientist and who is the physician, or who is the lawyer, who is the president, for example. Of course, the president we can tell right away. I'm sorry, I make mistake because he's too famous. Or the television broadcasts his face and we all know. But I mean, for the ordinary, intelligent man, we cannot tell right away. Is it not so? Yeah. Now, this kind of intelligence we can acquire for ourselves. Just like we learn to become a scientist, and we learn to become a doctor, or a lawyer, or some kind of more specific, intelligent people. For example, when we were young, we had no knowledge. We could not read nor write. And then, slowly, by learning, we knew how to do it. And then we learned many things by the way. Now, the same thing, we can acquire greater knowledge, what we call supra-wisdom. What we call wisdom. It's not a human so-called intelligence, but it is cosmos wisdom. We can acquire greater knowledge, what we call supra-wisdom. What we call wisdom. It's not a human so-called intelligence, but a cosmos wisdom. This is something not very mysterious and not very difficult to acquire. I was so surprised. After I acquired it, I was so surprised that it is so easy. It's kind of what the Americans say, know-how only. Know-how. It's the same like every science, every work, every specialty. It's like learning how to build a bridge or learning how to make an aeroplane. 100 years ago, it would have been impossible to think that one could fly from America to Taiwan just 10 or so hours or 20 hours, then you are right. 100 or so years ago, it would have been impossible to even imagine. Isn't it not so? Yes. And now, with the development of science, everybody takes it for granted. It's no problem. Today, to sit on an airplane is like to sit in a taxi. It's just a little bit longer distance, that's all. Now, we may enter in a different era, and even higher scientific civilization. We can transcend the space limit and even the dimensions limit, the world's dimension. Up to now, we learn to know only, I think, the third dimension. Is that not so? If I say something wrong, please correct me. I'm still very young, may make mistake. But there are some ways to know the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the 10th dimensions, etc. If we only know how. This kind of transcendental way we can acquire through our own effort by the help of someone who has already known the way. And that is very easy to understand, no? It's just like you want to become a doctor, then you go and find a doctor and find a medical school and learn with those who are specialized in the field. And then after some time, some years, you become a doctor. Simple as that. And now, these are the science of the world, what we call earthly sciences, like to make aircraft, to make spaceships, to make auto, cars. Auto, is it English?
Yes.
Yeah. Because some English, French, and German words are similar, so I'm wondering what I'm speaking. See, I have friends of all nations, and sometimes I would mix up language. The best thing is that we learn the Kuan method, the enlightening method, and then we don't need all this complication. We can communicate from within. And from America, you know what the people in Taiwan need, and you know how to help them. And that's why many people are interested in becoming enlightened. Inside of us, we have great wisdom, great power, and this is what we call Christ power, or God power, or Buddha nature. It's the same thing, just different countries name it differently. I'm glad that you have no discrimination in your mind and that you have come to listen to me. It means your heart is very broad, and it's easy to communicate. If someone just clings to one religion or another, it makes it difficult for me to communicate. Those who come here, it means somehow that you are very open-minded. So I feel very relaxed and feel very close to you somehow, very close. I don't know how you feel. Is it close or not close? Huh? Is there anything very close? Yes? Oh, I'm so happy. And that's good. That means we have something in the heart, some affinity. Yeah. So then we go further. What makes Jesus so great? What makes Buddha so famous? What makes Lao Tzu, Zhuang Tzu, Kong Tzu so famous up to now? It is the power that they have acquired. We all have this power, I may inform you. My information doesn't give you this power. My information doesn't make you great. It is you who are already great. It is that you do not know. It's you forgot to use it. So I have the honor to inform you. Maybe you remember it, or maybe not. But it is my duty to inform you. Because since I have found it, I cannot long for anything else in this world. I am free from any desire. So I think some of you out there in the world would long to have the same kind of joy, the same kind of complete fulfillment of satisfaction, that we have no longer this kind of struggle. I don't know what is missing. I want to find something. I don't know what it is. We have husbands, we have wives, we have wealth, we have money, we have position, we have everything that society can offer, but we still feel lonely. We feel something is not right. And that is because we have not found our home. We have not found this Christ power within us. We have not found heaven within our heart, or we have not found our own Buddha nature. That is what's missing. So I have found it, and I thought I must inform you that there is a way that is very easy and beautiful and costs nothing, costs no complication, no changing of any society, any environment, no shaving of the head. You don't have a look at my head. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. You still can find the same power. But I already shaved, so I continue to shave. Just to show you that we don't need to change anything. Whatever we are, we stay like that. Maybe tomorrow I will feel like and I might grow my hair. That makes no difference to me or you or the Buddha nature inside. Jesus found this power. Therefore he was so great. He could heal the sick. He could open the wisdom eye. He could take people back to his Father. Therefore he was great. Buddha found his power. That's why he was a Buddha, a well-honored one, the most honorable among human beings and gods. I don't mean the greatest God, the Almighty. I mean the small gods, the devas. There are great gods and small gods. So he was greatest among gods and men because he had found his power. Confucius and Lao Tzu, they all found this power, and many countless more beings have found this power, and they became great. Whether they are famous or not famous, it makes no difference. They found it, and that's it. And that makes them happy. That makes them joyous and mighty. We are human. Every religion would tell us humans are the best kind of beings that we can get. Even the angels have to bow to human beings. God says so. When God made human beings, He has told the angels they had to bow to us. And then one or two did not bow. So God punished them and sent them to hell. That was Satan, the one with the two horns and ugly looking. I have never met him, so actually my description is it's not very dependable. I can only tell you about God, how beautiful He is. And the Buddhas, and the angels, and the fairies, and all the beautiful beings in the cosmos. Cosmos? Yeah? Yeah. If I tell you something wrong, please correct me immediately. Let me have a chance to learn English. Like this, I can tell you from the beautiful side. Yeah, the ugly side I've left behind so long ago, I might have forgotten what it looks like. Yeah, but if you like, maybe you can go to hell and have a look. Actually, when we practice this path of truth, we can't even go to hell, but as a visitor. Yeah, and we can go when we want to, but not as a prisoner, not as the one who goes and has to suffer, but the one who goes and blesses. We go to hell and all hell immediately becomes empty. We have to go sometimes to rescue our relatives, our disciples, our friends, our husbands and wives who had been astray before we got initiation. So we must go sometimes, but we are free to come and free to go. The Master will take us there and take us home. No, we don't talk about hell. It will scare everybody to death. We don't often go there. Sometimes only. Actually, after initiation, most of our relatives are being rescued immediately. Most immediately go to different sphere to live in happiness. But in case some of them are so heavily obstructed with their own dark thinking from before, yeah, or from the many lives before, they may have to stay there a little bit longer, and we may have to go down ourselves and take them home. I think you have reached some of Swedenborg or something like that. Have you? Swedenborg? Yeah. Yeah. Have you read that he went to hell and rescued some people? Yeah. Go home and have a look. I haven't even read myself. I haven't. I don't know where I learned this information from. I haven't read him. Okay. But you may read. It's very interesting. Now, he is not the only one. Buddha also went there. Buddha's disciples went there. Jesus went there. Jesus' disciples sometimes went there. And our disciples also go there. And they go back, they can also tell you something horrible that makes you feel as a nightmare. But we don't go there often if we don't have any mission. If we have nothing to do there, we don't go. We have to only go upward to higher and glorious worlds, to be near to our Almighty God. The ocean of love and mercy, this is what we call God. He is not a being, although he might manifest himself sometimes as a kind of a being to let us feel close to him, touch him, and communicate with him. But otherwise, he is only an ocean of love and mercy and of bliss, blessing, and compassion. Everything that's good and joyous, that is God. We ourselves are, at the moment, even without initiation, even without knowing our innate wisdom or our inborn heavenly power, we are still mini-God. We are still God. Anytime you manifest love towards your neighbor, towards your children, your friends, your relatives, or anyone in need, at that moment you manifest God. Understand? So, the more we manifest this kind of compassion, love, mercy, and wisdom, the more we are near to God. But God, in this sense, is too limited. We can only love one or two persons, and we can only help a handful of persons at a time. God, in the ultimate sense, can help the whole world. So this is the goal we strive to achieve. That is what the Buddha achieved, what Jesus achieved. Actually, Christ is not his name. You must know, Christ is a title. It's like Buddha is not his name, it's a title. It's to indicate an enlightened being, an almighty power. And when we acquire this power, we become Christ. Maybe Marilyn Christ or Joseph Christ or Smith Christ, because he was Jesus Christ. But we become a different Christ because our names are different. So therefore, we can say Sakyamuni Buddha, or we can say Sakyamuni Christ. It is similar. It's just a different country, they call it a different name. I think there was a Hebrew name for an enlightened master. It's a Messiah name, the name for the Messiah, no? I think it is like that. If you have a Jewish people here, please inform me more. It's just like in Sanskrit, they call an enlightened master a Buddha. And now in modern times, we call him a guru. And they make everybody confused. Why is a guru different from a Buddha? Actually, a real guru is a Buddha. A Buddha means a guru. Guru means a darkness remover. It means the light giver. I mean, when you associate with this kind of person, he will remove your darkness of ignorance and give you light. Therefore, Jesus say, those that follow me would never walk in darkness. He say, I am the light of the world. But he also say, as long as I live in the world. He was afraid that our later generations would misunderstand him, that he would forever be the light giver. So he had to say, as long as I live in the world, I am the light of the world. He wouldn't say, I am forever the light of the world. And he say, after I go, I will send some comforter and to bring the later generations home. So do not grieve for him. He means when he dies, another will come. It is like that. Just like when somebody asked Jesus who he was, he said, I forgot the saint's name, but he meant that he is the incarnation of those past saints. Is it not so? Have you read? Yeah, that's good. At least somebody gives me some support. Because sometimes we read the Bible and we quickly forget, or we might overlook this information. And when I talk again, it seems like a very strange information, but in fact it is there. It is ancient information. It's not my information. So the same, sometimes I speak to the Buddhist people and they also think I'm speaking strange things, you know, because they thought they never heard of it before. But I say this is stated in the Bible, in the Buddhist Bibles, in the Buddhist doctrines. So it's the same when I speak to you about Christian Bible. Sometimes you may feel strange if you don't remember. So the same as someone asked me, the Buddhist doctrine would have the law of birth and rebirth, or the law of karma. It means the law of cause and retribution, cause and effect. They say to me, Christians don't have this. I say, yes, Christians have it. Because in the Bible it says so. As you sow, so shall you reap. Is this not cause and effect? Then what is it? But for your information, I may also inform you, the Bible was cut, censored, and erased so many times. Many information was not allowed to the public. But as we know, many people did research on Jesus' life, and they have also discovered many information which is very startling to us and was very useful. It is something like this. Like Jesus was vegetarian since he was a child, and now the Roman Catholic Church would not accept this. But the fact is the fact, yeah? And history is history. No one can change that. It's just sometimes the facts and the history are so unknown to the humans at large, to the majority of humans. Therefore, sometimes when somebody says, it seems like very strange information, that is all. But if we take time and patience, we will collect for ourselves vast information heretofore unknown to us. Is it not so? Sometimes in your own working field, you also suddenly discover something new. And the same with the scientists. They forever discover something new. And what is unbelievable today, tomorrow is proved to be very trustworthy. It is like Galilee before. Is it Galilee? Who say that the world is round? No? Is it him? Yeah. And they say the world is round, and then the church imprisoned him. It's just like that. It's so hurried, so impatient, and so inhuman. Sometimes the dogmatic people can cause this kind of disaster because of ignorance. And hundreds of years later, we all feel sorry. And for what? We cannot make up for it. We have lost a great talent. Humans have lost a great talent and a great prophet. I think he did not use his own eyes. I think Galileo did not use the human eyes to look at it. They might have not even used the telescope. What did he use? He used his wisdom eye to see. And he could only see the truth. Therefore, he spoke the truth. And at that moment, if there was developed science, they could have proved it, but they were not so far advanced. Therefore, they punished a nice person. After all, didn't care what kind of level he attained, how enlightened he was. He was such a beautiful person, so harmless, innocent, and I just imprisoned him like that for nothing. Now, these people are those that acquire their inner wisdom, like Jesus, like Buddha. They were so ahead of their time that people couldn't stand them. We can just say it that way. Therefore, when Buddha was alive, he knew everybody worshipped him. There were many people tried to harm him and tried to kill him and tried to disparage him, tried to blacken his name. When Jesus was alive, Of course, many people worship him, but there were many people harmed him and tried all kinds of tricks to kill him. Even though the church knew that Jesus was innocent, he was still powerless against these wicked people. Similarly, Galileo, he was also so great a person, a prophet of the time. He was so far advanced. Therefore, people could not catch up with him and did not understand his ideas and his wisdom. So therefore, we see science is not always up to date. Now, what we should do is to follow our own wisdom. Most of the scientists, their brains are in very active use. They use a lot of their brain, more than the average person does. Therefore, they discover and invent so many apparatus. They can invent many things to add to our comfort. But what they use is even just a little bit of the wisdom that our Father God has given us since the day of our birth. Now there is a way to use our complete wisdom. And it's so easy that everyone can do it. And if I can do it, just a small person and weighing only 30 or more kilos can do it, I think you're so great, big and tall, you may even be able to use more. And that is our hope for the future. Because we can't always rely on material science. We have to also rely on this kind of spiritual science, which brings us so far in advance into the worlds beyond the world, and that give us joy and meaning to our existence. Because I think more or less most of us always wonder, what is human existence for? Why is that God make us live only 400 years and then he would let us die? It seems a waste of time. Imagine if we lived longer, a few hundred years, a few thousand years, we would accomplish more, no? Yes, truly it is so. There is a way to live longer. But we do not live longer in this body. We have to live longer in a different body. There are some bodies that can endure several hundred years. There are some bodies that can endure several thousand years. There are some kind of bodies that can endure several millions of years. And there is a body that can live forever. And that body is a wisdom body. And we have to use a wisdom method to achieve it. Just like we use a medical method to achieve a medical doctorate degree. And we use a wisdom method to achieve our wisdom body. With this wisdom body, we fear no fire, no water, no disaster of any kind, and we feel no pain of anything. I have no words in the human language which I can think of to truly convey to you, my brothers and sisters, this greatness of our wisdom, of our Christ power inborn within us, what we call the heavens within. Lo and behold, the heaven is within you. Everybody says it like that, and everybody knows that. But if you ask them, what is heaven? And where is it within? And what does that heaven do to me when I carry it around 24 hours every day? What could it do for me? What is its use to me? What is the use of that heaven within me that I'm every day miserable, struggling in this meaningless world and have to deal with all kinds of vexations and jealousies and all kinds of from inside and outside bad influence. And then what is the use of you talking to me about this heaven? Yes, I would agree with you. It's no use. Only if we know it, we possess it, we make use of it, then it begins to become useful. Otherwise, you can carry it 100, 1,000, 1,000,000, billions of years, and it makes you nothing more than just a human, a worm, or a lion, or a tiger, be what you may. Only if we know it, we possess it, we make use of it, then it begins to become useful. Otherwise, you can carry it 100, 1,000, 1,000,000, or billions of years, and it makes you nothing more than just a human, a worm, a lion, or a tiger person, be what you may. It is like that we have to know this heaven, that I have to come all this way to inform you, that you may know your own treasure. Whether you believe me or not, I just rely on your wisdom. But it is easy to believe because one has the proof. After one gets the initiation, immediately one has proof. And every day more proof. Every minute more proof. Every second you live in a different world, in a different mental outlook. The world doesn't change. My friend just said to you, the environment didn't change, she changed. Yes, because we cannot change the world. Doesn't matter how advanced we are in civilization, doesn't matter how much material comfort we have, we all feel the same misery. Isn't that so? We still have to deal with our vexation. And this vexation money cannot remove. Happiness, money cannot buy. Therefore, we read newspapers, we see on television so many millionaires commit suicide. So many great persons cannot bear the burden of this world, and they end their life tragically. It is because they forgot their everlasting treasure. They rely on the ephemeral treasure. Therefore, Jesus says, lay not your treasure on earth, where the moth and rust can corrupt, but lay your treasure in heaven, where it is forever lasting. He means find your own treasure, the everlasting treasure. Then you can always draw from the source, and it will always supply. Therefore, this is infinite blessing. I say again and again, I have no words to so-called advertise it. I can only praise it. I can only hope you believe my praise. And I can only hope that my so-called radiations, my energy, my magnetic field will somehow affect your heart and lift you up to that kind of joyous feeling, and then you would somehow believe. And after the initiation, you can truly know what is the meaning of my words. Now I'm only advertising for the cookies. You have not tasted, but the cookies are free of charge. Therefore, I don't know what else can I do. If you tell me to come and sweep your house to prove that I'm sincere, I would do so gladly. If you tell me to shine your shoes to prove my sincerity, my selfless service, I would do so immediately. I have no way to convey to you this great blessing which God has bestowed on me and which I have the right to distribute. He doesn't only give it to me, He gives me the right. He allows me to distribute the same to everyone that comes, free of charge and free of any condition and any taint of material desire. Now, I think we have made some communication. Have you felt something of my sincerity? Should I continue, or have you been sent to sleep already? Not yet. Okay. Then I continue to say a few words more, and then I let you ask some questions. Any kind of questions. And when I'm speaking, if some questions flash through, you note it down, and later you can give it to me. Any kind of questions, I would answer. Before, I had not met this method. I had not practiced. I had not gotten in touch with this great blessing of wisdom. I had tried many kinds of things. I did any kind of social work. I felt obliged to help those in need, just like some of you here would do. But then, the more I help, the busier I become. And the more it feels like you don't help enough. It feels the more you help, the more people need. It feels like your time and your energy are so limited, and the world is so vast, and so many people are suffering, and you alone, or even 100 of you could not help that many people. And then I was thinking, what did Jesus do that he could help so many people? And what did the Buddha do that people say that he could be at any time, anywhere, at the same time? I was thinking very hard. And then I thought, hey, this won't do. Because I'm already very small in stature, and my energy is limited. I can only do so much, and then I collapse. So what did the Buddha do that he didn't collapse? That he helped so many people. And I read the sutra, the Buddhist doctrines, the sutras. Sutra is a Sanskrit name for doctrines or scriptures. I read that the Buddha, he could use his manifestation body to appear in any place at any time. And so we call it in Christian terminology, ever-present, no? Omnipresent. Is that so? Yes. So you see the Buddhists and Christians are speaking the same thing. Even in Hinduism, they talk about omnipresence. That means you are anywhere at any time at the same time, and you are here. That is what being omnipresent means. And now, can we acquire this omnipresent status? Yes, we can. Buddha can, Jesus can, and somebody else here also can. I would not mention it. Can you guess who? Yes. You can guess. I would not say it is embarrassing. Now, if somebody can be omnipresent, can you imagine? Isn't that so great? Yes. Yes. And we think only Buddha can do it, only Jesus can do it. And we think Buddha appeared only once in millions of lifetimes, and Jesus only came once in many lifetimes. And this is not logical. It is like we humans, in any era, any period of time, suffer illnesses. So in every period of time, there has to be doctors, has to be physicians to heal our sicknesses. Human beings, since ancient times, have suffered from mental dissatisfaction. This is a kind of illness. If we have an illness in our physical body, it's easy to heal. We take pills, we have an operation, we take some injections, and that's it. We are okay. But the mental suffering, no one can heal. The vexation every day that life's pressure gives us, no one can lift it up. Therefore, if Jesus only offered his face, offered his blessing once in billions of lifetimes, in fact, from what the majority of people want to understand, it means he only appeared that one time and never again. And that is underestimating God's mercy. This is what the civilization brought me. It's air conditioned here. I live in Taiwan. It's a countryside. And we live in open air. I live in a tent. We all live in a tent. And our temple is also a tent. We don't build temples. We don't waste money and make a lot of noise. So we live in a tent. And we live in open air every day. And now I was stuck in this air-conditioned, packed full jumbo jet. And immediately got cold. And this is civilization's advantage. I can't help it. I'm too sensitive. So, actually, you don't look at my example. You look at me, I'm so small and so skinny and so sick. You think to practice this method has no use. Oh, it has any kind of use, all kinds of use. Except when you are a master, then you have no use for it. If you are a master, you can give only, you cannot take. That's the difference. Your disciples are very comfortable, enjoying all kinds of joys, happiness, blessings. But the master has to suffer. That's why we say Jesus came to uplift mankind, to cleanse their sins. And he himself had to be crucified. He himself could not enjoy any privilege. Therefore, people scolded him. People crucified him. People criticized him. So, Buddha was also the same. He also suffered from illnesses and from people criticizing him and all kinds of petty things. Anyhow, so don't feel scared. Once you learn this method, you are protected 100% blindly by God power. The master is an exception. The master has to endure all kinds of suffering, and that's the difference. The master alone has to suffer. Everybody else can enjoy. But this is the joy of being parents. Just like the joy of being parents. Yes, the children enjoy all comforts, and the parents have to work hard, provide all things, and take all responsibilities. We don't complain to be parents. So one should not complain to be any kind of master. Yeah, a real master has to suffer. So, no problem. Now why am I going so far? Where have I been before? What did I talk about? Before that, before the cold. Before the cold, what was it? Yes. Oh, yeah. But that was because I was talking about suffering. Before that, what was it? No, that's also included in the suffering. What was it before that? Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Yes. Omnipresence. That's good. That's more important than who is living in a tent and who is having cold. It's like this. It's also not because of the civilization. It's really unfair. Even the cigarette. Yeah. In the airplane, so many people smoke. And this also contributes to my health. Why is it when somebody acquires this inner power, he can become omnipresent? It is because he is connected with the whole universe. So in Chinese Taoism, they say 万物同一体. It's Chinese. 万物同一体, it means you and the universe are one. Or, as Christ put it, I and my Father are one. What does Father mean? It means the cause of the whole existence, the parent of all beings. And if you are one with the Father, he means you are one with the whole cosmos. He means like that. He achieved this state of enlightenment, of the higher level of consciousness. Now, enlightenment doesn't mean you go around with a light on your face. But it can happen. People will see you with light around if they have their wisdom eye open. Now, we see Jesus' drawings and Buddha's pictures, or the saints have halos around them. That is their light. So actually, that's exactly what it means by enlightenment, because they have light. Actually, there is light. But this light, we cannot use our normal mortal eyes to discern. We have to use the wisdom eyes, or the heaven eyes, or the God's eye, the Buddha's eye, or the Tao's eye, whatever name you call it. Yeah, Jehovah's eye. So many religions make a different name, so we are confused. Now, how to acquire this eye and how to acquire this light? This is the purpose of my coming to you tonight. I would like to share with you the simple technique to attune yourself to this God power, or Christ power, or Buddha power. Then you will become Christ, you will become Buddha, you will become, you and your Father are one, like Jesus. Jesus did not say he alone is a son. He said all beings are the Father's children. No, the Bible says God made man in his own image. That means we are likened to God. And not only Jesus, but he alone realized that, or his few disciples realized that, because he took time and practiced to discover his own great level, his own great status in the universe. We have not done so, therefore we are ignorant of our greatness. And we are walking around on the street like beggars. Oh, I'm sorry, no. No, I don't mean you are beggars. What I mean is, compared to your own inborn greatness, we are really beggars. We are even worse than beggars. If we know how great we are, then we feel very sorry for our previous ignorance. That's why Jesus was so diligent, running from one place to another, telling people, you are sons of God, you can be God, you can find heaven. Lo and behold, heaven is within you. You can find heaven now. And then Buddha also ran around for 49 years, kept telling people, everybody can become Buddha, everybody has Buddha nature, everybody can become Buddha. But very few people listened to him. Why is that so? Because we are so deep in our own habits, in our environmental effects, and we forgot. We cannot imagine there is anything else beyond this world. We cannot believe there is any more happiness than our money, cars, homes, husbands and wives and kids and all this. Because the world binds us down to this level of understanding. They want us to understand that, only that, nothing else. And we are busy every day, so we have no time to think. Sometimes it flashes in our minds very quickly. Hey, yes, what is it? What is this life for? What is it? I want to know heaven. I want to know God. How to know it? And then the next minute the kids come and, Mama, I want this, I want that. Or the husband comes and then the two of you fight, and then that's it, heaven is gone. And then the next minute you completely forget about heaven, and God is thrown into the dustbin. And you don't know him anymore. You only know your vexation and how to argue with your husband or your wife, or tell them to shut up. and then you're so vexed, and then you go and turn on the television, and then you laugh with these comedians, and then that's it. And that's our heaven. And it's just a pity we live day to day like this. And we don't need the TV to become happy. We don't need the comedians to laugh. We can laugh every day within ourselves if we know where heaven is and how to find it and how to discover it and how to use our treasure every day. And not only we can use it, we can distribute it. Someone who knows the heaven within radiates a kind of beautiful, blessing energy around him or her, making everyone else just look at them and feel happy, feel trusting, feel assured, feel very friendly, feel very close, and feel comforted. Therefore, Jesus, after he acquired this power, he could loudly and proudly say, "Come to me, all ye that are heavy laden and tired, and I will quicken you." He meant he could do that. He did not boast, he told the truth. And may I repeat that here, the same thing. Because I don't do anything different than Jesus. We have the same mission. I understand this gives you a shock. But if I don't say that to you, what else would I say? What am I here for? Actually, I'm so ashamed to say that so quickly. I meant to leave it, but I think it is my personality. I'm too straightforward. Sometimes I cannot conceal things, and I forget. Sometimes I'm not flexible enough. Often give people a shock. I just speak like a bomb, and then people cannot accept it. But never mind. Whatever has to be said, it is God ordained. And if He meant you to go home, then you will go home. If your wisdom is open enough, you would believe whatever I say. When it's not open enough, whatever I say has no meaning to you. Is it not so? When even Jesus was alive, many people did not believe Him. Therefore, who am I to expect many things? Today is the first day, and I was thinking, how would I make friends? How would I make you feel that we are long-time friends? And then I was thinking, but we don't need to do that. Because the God power within us will unite us together. And the language is only very small, convenient experience, meaning. It makes not much difference. Most of the time, the great masters, they don't use language to convert people. They use their eyes and their energies, their radiance. And as I have just spoken to you minutes before, someone who acquired this Christ power will radiate this kind of assurance, kind of trustworthy atmosphere, and make people believe what he says, and they feel very comfortable. Even his touch and his eyes will heal many sicknesses. Jesus, he did not use magical power. People all think he used magical power. He did not. He himself is the magical power. Anyone who came in contact with him will get benefit, get blessing, get healed, and get joy. It is like that. Even his disciples would have this kind of blessing power. Today in the car again, we were speaking about the benefits we disciples derive from practicing this Kuan Yin method. Now, what is Kuan Yin? Kuan Yin means you contemplate the inner vibration, the inner music. The inner, I cannot say it's music, but that again, I cannot say it is not music. And yet, I cannot say it is a vibration. I don't know what it is. In the Bible, it says the word, the sound, the vibration. So it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And everything was made by this word, and nothing that is made is not made by this word. Word means sound, vibration, inner music, celestial, I'll say.
Internal divine sound?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. We Chinese say, 那个震动力呀, it means inner vibration. But this vibration, we cannot use the ears to hear it. We cannot use any kind of our human sense organs to touch it or to grasp it. We have to use our inner senses. The inner sense is from the inner self. The inner self is the real self. It's not the body. The one who inhabits this body, that is our real self. And when we hear this inner wisdom or inner vibration, that means our inner self has been awakened. So when we say somebody experiences a great awakening, that means exactly like that. Awakening, who is awakening? Every day our eyes are so big and open and we are not awakened. You must be joking. No, I'm not joking. We are not awakened. We are only awakened when we are enlightened. When our inner self awakens, now it is sleeping. Therefore, we cannot experience the inner world or the blessing from God or from heaven. We are in this world. We are living, swimming, suffering in this material, physical, mortal world. So we are dead. Oh, sorry, I shocked you again. We are alive again when we are awakened, when we experience the awakening from within, when our real self, real person awakens. The Prince will come and give us a kiss of life, and we awaken. And that is the moment of awakening, as a called enlightenment. It's all the same thing. And now, why did I say we are dead? Because we have eyes, but we don't see much. We only see from here to there. We have ears, but we don't hear much. We can only hear a little bit, a very short distance. And we don't hear the celestial music. We don't see the heavenly abode. Abode? Yeah? So we are blind, deaf, and dumb. Yeah, this is a pity. We have great eyes, great ears. We can hear 1,000 miles. We can hear from here to Taiwan. We can see from here to Germany. We can see from here to heaven. We can see from here to hell, and we don't use it. So we call ourselves deaf and dumb and dead. It is like that. We move within a limited space and time. We can walk about 200 miles and then we collapse. So we have no power. We can see only a little bit, and we can be awake only for a certain amount of hours, and then we have to close our eyes and sleep. But there is a person who never sleeps, who doesn't need sleep, who doesn't need to eat, who doesn't need to do anything, and he knows everything, he sees everything, he hears everything. That is our true self. That's what we call God, Christ's power, or the Buddha nature. And we have to awaken that person. That's called awakening. After we awaken that person, we will be omnipresent. Slowly, slowly, we will become, I and my Father are one. We will know everything without knowledge. We will see everything without looking. We will hear everything without listening. Therefore, in the Bible it says, hearing you hear, but you do not understand. Seeing you see, but you do not perceive. That is the meaning. It's like what I have just been explaining to you. Seeing you see, but you do not perceive. Hearing you hear, but you do not understand. What is that? Hearing and not understanding. What is that? Seeing and not perceiving. It is because our seeing is not really seeing, but an illusion. The real world is beyond our physical eyes. The real world is beyond our physical ears. We have to awaken the real selves in order to experience, to perceive the real world. That is what the Bible means. By seeing you see, but you do not perceive. And after we are awakened, we are connected with the whole cosmos, with the whole universe. And then we are no longer working alone. We work with God power. We are connected like a network. You understand? Just like we are connected together by the radio television network or the telephone network. You understand? Just dial a number and then everybody knows what happens. Or just broadcast some news and then the whole country, the whole world knows what happened in America or what happened in Taiwan. And that's a network. But this is a physical network. And we have a finer, a more subtle, a more super network. And that is what we call being a co-worker with God, a co-worker with the cosmos, a co-worker with the Buddha. That is what we call becoming a Buddha, becoming the all-knowing, mighty, omnipresent. And then you can stay here and talk, and then you can also at the same time appear in whatever country that needs your manifestation. That is called omnipresent. Then you can sit there and listen to me, and at the same time you can manifest many bodies and go to different countries or different places to help people who call you for help. That is being omnipresent. And that is a great goal that we should set before us and which we can achieve. And it's very easy by devoting about 1/10 of our everyday time, and we can achieve that in a short while. And even if we don't achieve this omnipresent status, we can achieve a great power and great benefit for ourselves, our relatives, our friends, our neighbors, and our countries. We can radiate light to heal all the many miseries in the world and can help many people. One of my disciples, he is a doctor. He's very young. He just graduated, understand? Just graduated. And he has no experience with surgery. But anytime he operates on anyone, that person, he is sure to recover in 2-3 days. And these people normally have no more hope. Like one case, today we were talking in the car again. One of my disciples, she's there. Her son is a doctor in Taiwan. And her son is very young and has no experience in surgery, just graduated, a new doctor. Normally, he's not allowed to do any independent operation. You know that, huh? A newly born doctor. But the many desperate cases is already nearly on the waiting list to death, so he can try. Anyhow, they will die, understand? Therefore, he can try his hand. And he tries, and then the person goes home in 2-3 days. Actually already desperate, like the lungs are full of water. I'm speaking here and the person is there, so you're not afraid I'm telling any lies. Today we were driving here, we were talking again, and they kept thanking the Master how much benefit they get and how much they can benefit others. Therefore, it became again a topic. Now that doctor, anytime he touches any person, that person immediately goes home. And other doctors say, how you do that? You understand? He doesn't know how even. This is just a very small aspect of this Christ power or the God power that I meant to convey to you, that you yourself have. Not that I will give to you or anyone gives to you. God gives it to us. We are born with it. God is so merciful that when He sent us into this world, He was worried that His children might be in want. So He provides us with anything, everything inside. It's just we forgot how to use it. And then we come here, we feel so lonely, helpless, powerless, and we are miserable. And we are unhappy. Therefore, the most happy person in the world is not really happy. Because if he doesn't know where his real happiness, where his everlasting happiness lies, then he is not really happy. So therefore everybody has some kind of frustrated feeling something's missing, don't know what it is. Doesn't matter how much money we have, doesn't matter how beautiful our wives, our husbands are, somehow we don't feel completely satisfied. Just like when my disciple today mentioned, she is now fully happy inside, very satisfied. I said to her, I'm happy for you. And even then you don't practice very well. You're not very diligent. And you still have so much benefit. She said before every day she got a headache, was dizzy. The whole body wasn't in order. And after initiation, of course, eating vegan, and now she's so healthy. Therefore, her family completely supports her. Thank God that she manifests some sign of physical benefit. Otherwise, the inner benefit, no one can tell. Understand? This is only physical manifestation, and so little as that. And even though she doesn't practice well, she's a lousy practitioner, I might say. I can say I'm happy for her, even with just a lousy devotion, you still can have so much benefit. Then do not doubt that a person who devoted completely, body, speech, and mind, the whole body and heart for God, understand? For the path, for the practice, of course she or he will get the healing power, the whole benefit of God's blessing, and then she or he can give it to others. So there's no doubt about that. That means even though she practices so lousily, she got so much, many other things that she's completely satisfied inside. Before she did not know what she lived for. She was depressed, this kind of depression. And now she's completely happy inside. And nobody knows that except seeing that her body is healthy and she has no more sickness and all these kind of things. This is petty, insignificant benefit. But that got some good points, because then her family is seeing that she doesn't go berserk. So they support her practice and do not hinder her. And that's the only good thing about that. Otherwise, this is not what we are looking for. The physical benefit is not worth our intention. It's just that what I mean is even a fraction, a small fraction of this power would change so much in our lives, our environments, and anyone that comes in touch with us, that we are so puzzled that this kind of power really exists. And it is nearly the 21st century. Quite nearly. Yes. What I mean is it is the very scientific era. And people, if they listen to this kind of my talk, they might think I'm talking about fairy tales. Therefore it is difficult to convey our message to the world at large. However much I'm impatient to do so, and however much my disciples are excited to do so, they still have to be patient and play low. It is very pitiful, but there's no remedy for it. Even when Jesus was here, he did not save many people. Not many people followed him. And Buddha also, not many people followed him. Only after they died, then they became more famous. Why? Is it easier to worship a dead master? It's true. Because they have no words. Whatever you want to believe, he wouldn't correct you. Whatever your false faith, he would not scold you or would not hurt your ego. That is the meaning of that. So after the master died, everybody come and worship and make a big deal, make pomp and show and everything. But when the master is alive, it's difficult. It's hard to survive, let alone to transmit any power or any doctrines. Therefore, in Chinese, we say, since ancient times, the real master's life is like a very delicate thread. It means easy to break it. The life of a master is very dangerous. They mean it like that. Because they are so ahead of their time that whatever they talk about, the majority would not understand and would not be able to accept. So in China also, in ancient times, most masters, they had to hide themselves and teach only a small, discreet group of disciples that dared not go out in public. The more famous, the more difficult to get this master. So in ancient times, to get enlightenment was something very far out of reach. Also, the communication and the transportations were not as good as our present time. Therefore, in ancient times, the disciples treasured the master's teaching because it was very difficult to get. Very difficult to get even one line of it. In our present time, there are more advantages in communication and transportation. But then, it also requires the public's karmic affinities, meaning we have to sow a lot of good deeds together in order to make a good atmosphere, to lift up our mental understanding, our own consciousness, in order to accept something new, something that we have not been able to understand before or have not heard about before. This is also difficult. The transportation, the communication doesn't mean anything that could help us. It helps us a little bit only. It can bring me from Taiwan up to here only. But then the acceptance has to come from people's mentality, from their own level of understanding and their own level of consciousness. Now everyone has a different level of consciousness. Therefore, a doctor will think differently from a garbage collector, or an engineer will think differently from a taxi driver, maybe like that. Now, from the outer appearance, both of them look the same. A taxi driver and a doctor both look the same, except when they wear uniforms. Otherwise, they look the same. But inside, there's a different knowledge. The taxi driver doesn't know much about medical problems. He doesn't know how to cure a person's sickness. The doctor can. He can look at your face. Some doctors are so good. He just looks at your eyes, your face. He knows where your sickness is. And some Chinese doctors, they just feel your pulse and they know exactly where the sickness is. And some are even better. They just look at you and they know where your sicknesses are. And they don't need to feel your body or diagnose or hear your heart or anything like that. This is a different degree in the same field even. So the same with average people. Everyone has different thinking because of different backgrounds, different previous lives backgrounds, different education, and different environmental effects. So it is no doubt easy for us to accept the fact that someone is more intelligent than someone else. And there are even some who are greatly intelligent, and that's very easy to understand. And this great intelligence is like that of Jesus Christ, Buddha, Confucius, or Kongzi, those ancient famous masters. Now, if we can accept that these ancient famous ones are great in wisdom, then we can also accept that at present there are some who are also the same. Because we human beings do not change. Since ancient times, we also have a nose here, 2 eyes there, and a mouth in the middle. Maybe your skin is white and mine is yellow, but in general we are the same. And even then, in Western and Eastern countries, since ancient times, there are many masters like Socrates and Plato and so many more. Huh? Yeah, that's it. We can name only a few because some of them are not famous. most of them, I can assure you, most of them are not famous. Because they hid themselves, they didn't have enough time to hide, let alone to be famous. Only Jesus was famous. Why? Because they crucified him and gave him advertisement, free advertisement. Yes. So up to now, the price is that 2,000 years later, people still know his name. And Buddha, because he was a prince, he had a noble lineage. People already knew him before he became Buddha. Of course, everybody wants to come and learn with a prince who has become enlightened. He had already the advantage of being a noble being. It is like that. So both of them are a little famous. And then Confucius, he went from one nation, from one king to another to advertise his doctrines. And some of the kings and the great mandarins, the higher government officers believed him. Some of them believed him and made him famous. Once you associate with this kind of society, high society, you very quickly become famous. Is it not so? If they believe you, they promote you. Especially in ancient times, the kings and the government officers are all there is to it in this world. They have destinies in their hands. So it was very easy. Other people are not so famous because they were not known to the public, although worshipped by their circles of disciples. If they don't leave any doctrines behind, or if they don't desire to leave their teachings behind, then we won't know. Even if some of their collected works were left behind, they are not necessarily safe with time. Things became destroyed and burned, and all kinds of disasters will befall this kind of enlightened persons. I think I talk too much now. I think I will let you talk. If you have any questions, you are welcome now. Many questions? Would you prefer to come and ask yourself, or would you let our people read it so everyone can understand? Is it better to read it? All right, thank you. Okay.
Tina?
Do you understand her English as well? Oh, that's perfect. Good.
There are so many who claim to be masters. How can we know which ones are true masters so that we will not be
deceived,
led astray?
Yeah. This is very sincere question. Yeah, very sincere, very straightforward. Now I will tell you. It's very easy. First one, the real master will not accept any donation for her of his own use. He or she lives from her own hands. That's the first question. Because God only gives, doesn't take. Have you ever seen God come down and take any offering from you? No. So if the one who proclaimed to have God's power within, he represents God, he works for God, he must have this God attribute. He must not take any offering for his own private use. His or her, whoever, I don't care. And then the second attribute is that he or she must give you some proof of enlightenment. For example, if she says, or he says, anyhow, he or she, I don't know what it is. Inside there's no she and no he. That master, if she or he proclaims that she has the light, then she must also give you the light, give you proof that you can see the light, and you can hear the word of God, the word as in the Bible. Yeah? Whoever can give you proof of these two, the light and the word of God, the vibration of God, then you can believe. Otherwise, how do you know he or she has anything? It's like somebody says to you, I'm a millionaire, I have a lot of money. And then you want to see a little bit of his money, say, you believe in me, it's enough. It's not enough. Yeah? At least he should show you a credit card, a check. Yeah? And if he is even generous, he will give you some. And then that can be of any use to you. Otherwise, he talks 100 years, he has money. What is the use for you? No use. If you are thirsty, you are hungry, but he gives you no financial help. That is a useless millionaire. Whether he is a millionaire or not, we cannot. These are the two conditions of knowing if it is a real master or not. First, they don't accept any offering for private use. Second, he has to give you some proof of the inner enlightenment. He has to give you a light. Guru means light giver, darkness remover. Every day you see darkness, if he gives you light, that is a guru. And then the sound you must also hear, because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. If you don't hear this sound, mean you have no contact yet with God. The light is only one attribute of God, not perfect. You have to hear also the sound. Now, you may ask me, why is it? Why can we not only see the light and have to also hear the sound? Why do we have to use it hearing method? I may tell you. Our physical eyes can only see one dimension. I mean, in the front. If you want to see here, you have to move to the left. If you want to see the right, you have to move to the right. If you want to see behind, you have to turn completely. Now, our inner eyes are similar. Even though your inner eye is open, it has the same effect as the outer eyes, meaning you can only see the front or whatever direction you look at. Now, the ears are not the same. Even our physical ears have a multidimensional purpose. You can hear from above, you can hear from beneath, you can hear from right, from left, from behind, from the front. Is that not so? Now, our inner ears are also the same. It can hear from all directions. Therefore, we become all-knowing. Understand? Yes. Now, our inner eyes are similar. Even though your inner eye is open, it has the same effect as the outer eyes, meaning you can only see the front or whatever direction you look at. Now, the ears are not the same. Even our physical ears have a multidimensional purpose. You can hear from above, you can hear from beneath, you can hear from right, from left, from behind, from the front. Is that not so? Yes. Now, our inner ears are also the same. It can hear from all directions. Therefore, we become all-knowing. Understand? Yes. If we only see but we don't hear, then we are deaf. Then one of our organs is not in order, is not in use. We are not perfect beings. Therefore, the hearing organs, be it inner or outer, are the perfect ones, more perfect than the eyes. Therefore, we have to practice the hearing method. Outside, we use the physical eyes to look. We use the physical ears to listen. Inside, we also have to use heavenly eyes to look and heavenly ears to listen, because the sounds that come from all directions. We have to use the hearing organs, whether inner or outer, in order to become a perfect being. If our ears are not in order, we are not a perfect human being. Therefore, our inner ears also have to be in perfect order. At the moment, we have our inner ears, but they are not yet opened. At the initiation, I will help you to open them, and then you will hear the different dimensions, celestial vibration. By coming in contact with this vibration, or so-called word in the Bible, we become all-knowing. We become all-powerful, all-blessing, all virtuous, all satisfied, all happiness, and all bliss bestowing to the people in our environment, and even our surroundings will be blessed with our presence. Everywhere we go, that being, that place will become sacred, will become blessed. They become more happy, more lifted up in human consciousness, whether they know it or not. But most of the time, they will not know. They just feel there is a change in their consciousness by being in contact with us, but they do not realize what it is. They don't know why. And that is how we distribute our God's blessing to the world. If we come in contact with this God power, then we can distribute it. That's our contribution to this world. The best, the highest contribution. More than physical help, more than financial help. It is God's blessing, the wisdom. And there is some other things. Also, to know a master, it takes time. First of all, these two primary conditions make you know a master. But then you still have to go higher in consciousness yourself in order to realize how great a master is. But the safeguard is that he will not be abused through your financial or physical contribution. And that's it, you are safe. At least that person doesn't want anything from me. So I can safely learn with him or with her, and then I see whether it's good or not. If it's not good, I can always leave. I lose nothing. Understand? That's just for your safe side. It means you don't lose anything whatsoever. No condition is imposed upon you. Therefore, at least you are safe. Whether that master is good or not, later we will discuss. At least he will not abuse your innocence and doesn't want any contribution on your part. And that's a sign of a real master. At least you are safe, that's it. And the power of the master, at the time of initiation, you might know a portion of it. And then as the days go by, as you practice, you cleanse yourself, you understand more, your wisdom opens, and you realize how great the master is. To know a master does not take one day, but you may know a little bit of it by the proof she or he gives you at the transmission time or initiation time. Yes, that's it. But at least she wants nothing from you, and that's the safe side. Yeah? And to know something else takes a little bit of time. But you may know it. Some people know the master very quickly because every day they get blessings, every day their life changes, every day they get bliss and power, every day they know. But some people may take a little bit longer, that's all. But more or less at the time of transmission, you know.
Master Qinghai, what is your thoughts on the animal rights movement that is now beginning in this country? Do you agree with their methods?
Animal people rights?
Yeah.
Animal people rights movement?
Yeah.
I completely agree. We are vegan supporters. And I do not agree with violation of animal people's innocent life. Of course, I completely support.
What is the right way to study Buddhist studies and where to study?
The right way to study Buddhism is to go within yourself and see where the Buddha is. Not in the doctrines, but in you. Because the Buddha said Buddha is within you. He didn't say the Buddha is in the doctrine, or in any church, or in any temple. We forgot this. After he died, we built many temples, make his image and bow there in front of wooden statues. And then we ask him for this and that and other. The wooden statue cannot give us anything. And then we become frustrated within the Buddha is not having any power. This is because we look in the wrong direction. To study Buddhism, go inside. And the go inside method I have. I can tell you how to find the Buddha.
How can we be always happy and immortal?
How can we be happy and immortal?
Yes, always.
Yeah. Yes, there is a way. There is a way to everything that we want. We must know where to find it. If you want to live forever and be happy, I will offer you that method. It's very easy. You should devote a little bit of time every day to acquire it. And in a very short time, you will know. Very short time. For some people, it takes just a few days. Some people, on the first day, they know that they're immortal. But this, I cannot use the language to explain to you. You must experience it yourself only, and you alone will know. And afterwards, somebody will ask you, what is it like? And then you will become dumb again, just like me. I cannot say much. We only know, realize, and experience it ourselves.
What is initiation? What kind of requirement? Initiation.
Yeah. Outside we have written some kind of requirements. Actually, I myself require nothing. It is you yourself who have to require it from yourself, some discipline. For example, if we live on animal people diets, and that is detrimental to our spiritual life. And now I tell you, the secret is to cut it off. It's for your own good. For myself, I require nothing from you. You don't need to change your husband, wife. No need to change your job. You don't need to change any social contact or any religion. If you are Christian, be so. If you are Jewish, believe that. If you are in any religion and any school, you are free to stay there. I just tell you how to acquire your own highest potential power inside. And that is what any religion names the highest. The Buddha's name is the highest, the Christ's name is the highest. And I want you to find that power, that's all. But you must be pure in speech, body, and mind. For example, in mind, we must not think of any violence. We must think of love, forgiveness, tolerance, and forbearance. In speech, we must speak of wisdom, of soothing comfort to our associates. In body, we should live a pure life, more or less a chaste life. A chaste life doesn't mean you don't have a husband or a wife, but you have only one husband or one wife. That's it. That is a chaste life. And then to be chaste means you give up all kinds of drugs, alcohol, and gambling, this kind of things. It makes people confused in their minds, makes the body weak, and causes mental diseases. That is a chaste life, a pure life. So the body, speech, and mind, you should adjust them to God's virtue. That's what I mean. Because you want to become God. You want to become, I and my Father are one. Now you may wonder if God gambles, or God drinks any liquor, or God has any terrible adulteries, or all kinds of lower desires. Yeah? So if we want to become one with God, of course we have to live our own body, speech, and mind to match Him. So this is a condition. You should be vegan and be chaste in speech, words, and mind. Be loving and not violent, that's all. For example, before you used to beat people, and now if you want to practice this method, then please don't beat anymore. That's all. And before, if you loved eating animal, people, meat, and now out of compassion and love for life, you just abstain from it to show that you are one step higher in God consciousness and you have more compassion. You practice love and mercy. And that is the condition. Very easy. No? Yes, we can do that. We can.
Is our past karma affect the present life? How can we believe it? What is the proof? Thank you.
It is not easy to prove this, but I can try. We do not need to talk about the past life, which is unreachable. For our mortal understanding, we will talk about the present. It's easier to understand. For example, if every day you drink alcohol, if in the morning you drink alcohol, then in the afternoon, what do you feel? Lovely, fantastic. Or you feel drunk, terrible, headache, lousy, and sluggish. You feel terrible, right? Yes. Yeah, that is the effect of what we call the past karma affecting the present. If you did not drink so much alcohol in the morning, then at noon you won't feel so terrible. Or in the afternoon you won't feel so terrible. You will feel clear-headed and very happy, yeah, and very normal. That is the karmic effect. We call it the past affecting the present. So very easy. Now these things are easy to understand because it is in the same time and in the present time. But if something happened so long ago, centuries ago, then of course we do not understand. Every time we are born again, we change into new clothes. Like this body has new clothes, and we forgot what kind of clothes. The fact that we forgot the past is also a blessing for us. Because what is the use to us if we remember that last life we were a tiger? Or we were a wolf, or we were a kind of very terrible president or very terrible king. This will make a very, very heavy pressure on us. Yeah. We cannot even deal with our daily pressure. How much more so if we have to deal with the past karmic burden, the mental burden. So it is a blessing that we don't remember the last life, and that is especially designed from God, from the Lord of Karma, that we do not remember, so that we may live a bearable life. Actually, when we practice some kind of meditation, even just ordinary meditation, not to mention about our method, some people would see their own past lives, because there is some kind of spare which records every minute detail of our last existence. And when we reach that so-called library, we can see everyone's life like an open book, including our own. So actually, when we practice our method, we can also reach there. If it is useful for us, the Master will let you see. If it isn't, or if it is out of your forbearance, meaning too much for your own enduring power, then the Master will cover it, won't let you see. So the secret of life is there is nothing secret. It is the matter of reaching the right library and then seeing what is in store before and after. So you can prove it for yourself even. You can prove for yourself. No one can prove it for you. For example, if you ask me, how can I prove your karma? Now I would tell you, for example only, don't believe it. I will tell you, oh, before you were a tiger person. Yeah, and now you ask me for proof. It is very difficult for me. Because you are here and I am there. I see things differently from how you're seeing things. The one who is on the 5th floor sees more part of the city than the one who is on the 2nd floor. And the one who is on the 2nd floor will not believe what the person on the 5th floor is telling him, because he himself doesn't see it. Understand that? So the proof or no proof, leave it for later. You should be more concerned with the present life. For example, the past life we cannot change. It's gone. It's already happened. So we can change. We can worry about this present life and the future. And now we can change the future. And that is a good thing. The future and the present are so important to us, not the past. The past, we cannot do anything about it. And even about the present, we can't do much. But we could minimize it, could smooth it out by our own God power within us. Every day we take it out and use it. For example, you have a treasure or inheritance from your parents, $1 million treasure laying hidden somewhere, and you don't know where it is. And every day you go and work very hard and earn a little money. But the fact that you know you have a treasure somewhere doesn't help you, does it? But if you know where it is, then you can take it out and use it every day. And now you owe somebody $100,000. You cannot change that. You already borrowed money from him. You cannot change this, but you can take your money and give it to him. Understand? Make your life more comfortable. No lawsuits and people coming and dragging you out and scolding you and beating you because of owing people money. And that's how you can change your present life. Now our present lives are fixed from the past, so-called karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. Therefore our happiness or sorrows are fixed because of our own past actions. Just like we owe somebody money, and that we cannot change. We already spent that. So now we have to bear it, or if we have money, we give it to him, and then we are free. The same. Our present life may be miserable or unhappy because of our past life or due to the past years' wrong actions. But now, if we practice, we take the inner blessing power in use, then we can minimize this misery. And that's how we can help and change the present. And of course, in the future, nothing unfavorable will happen to us because we have so much merit in store to alter the future. Yeah. The same as we have discovered our treasure. And so Now we give some money to our creditor. And then we even have a lot to use in the future. In the future, we can avoid borrowing money. We can avoid being poor. Yeah, the same thing. We cannot change the past. We have to smooth out the present and change the future. And that is the purpose of practicing the immediate enlightenment method, the Guan Yin method. Guan means to contemplate. Yin means inner vibration, inner sound. So Guan Yin, this is a Chinese word for contemplating the inner music.
I'm Roman Catholic. I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. I have begun chanting Namo Reikiko, Nichiren Shoshu Buddhist practice. It's one in conflict with the other. It's the Father name Yahweh.
Jehovah? I don't understand very well.
Oh, there. The gentleman.
Yes, please explain to me, because the English may be lousy. It's not your fault. You say you are a Roman Catholic. Yeah. Yes? You have been baptized?
And I just began a practice, a Buddhist practice. I understand to be from the temple Nishan Shoshu, and we
Japanese then?
and we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Yeah. 日莲宗.
I'm trying to find that is one in conflict with another.
Is the Buddhism you're practicing now in contrast with your Catholicism? Is that right?
That's right.
No. And yes. It's like this.
The second commandment says, "Thou shalt not put strange gods before."
It's true. It's true.
And the Father's name I understand to the oldest book to be Yahweh.
Jehovah.
Say again, please.
Jehovah.
Jehovah.
Yahweh. So you understand, you are afraid that you...
I do not want to be... I feel the reason why I'm here is for my soul to be enlightened.
Yes.
As much as possible.
Yes.
And feel that...
You are in conflict.
I don't...
I understand. No, you have not. You have not. God will, even if He says so, He would forgive your earnestness for enlightenment. It is because you are looking for God that you go from door to door. It isn't that you want to do bad things. I don't believe there is any so-called jealous God. But anyhow, the practice of 日莲宗, this is the Lotus school. 日莲 this is a Chinese word for Lotus school. You're practicing the Lotus Sutra method, I understand. They are repeating the name of the Lotus Sutra. But for what I understand and what I realize is that repeating the name of a scripture means nothing to God. God is within us, not in the scripture. So Jesus, when He was baptized by John the Baptist, what did He see? He saw the light from heaven coming down like a dove, no? Yes. So if you repeat the names of the Lotus Sutra and you don't see any dove coming down, that means you practice in the wrong way. Whether you call it Buddhist or Catholic practice, I don't care. I'm a Buddhist by origin, but I feel that I know that most of the Buddhist methods are even contradictory to the Buddha's teaching. They only talk and repeat words and have no inner light or inner experience. So now I tell you, do not abandon your Catholicism, but I tell you a method to acquire the light within, and that's all. Do not worship me, and do not become a Buddhist, and do not go to any Buddhist temple, and do not come to me even. I don't care about all of this. I just tell you how to go in yourself and see God, and see what you want to, and you always longed for that God. That Yahweh or whatever you name Him. You can call Him another dozen, 100 names. It would not mind. He has no name, understand? Yes. He has no name. He takes on whatever name of the Master on earth at that time. Therefore, when Jesus came, they worshipped Jesus as the Son of God or as even God. Yeah? When the Buddha came, they worshipped Buddha as God. Because the God power manifests in that person, in that human form. The human is just like an electric wire. It carries the electricity inside. So if it's red or yellow, I don't care. The important thing is it has electricity inside. Otherwise, you don't call it an electric wire, an empty wire. Yes? So there are all kinds of methods. If it doesn't give you electricity, if it doesn't give you light, or God or heavenly spheres to look at, then it is an empty wire. It's not an electric wire. And it's not Jesus' method. This is an outer method. I don't care if it's a Buddhist method or whatever. Or an empty shell. So therefore you feel in conflict. If you learn this method from me, you don't need to change to become a Buddhist. You don't need to repeat anything. You just see the light every day and feel joy. Be in the presence of God. And then you call him whatever name he tells you to call him. You will know him by different hundreds of names or no names. You just feel his love and mercy. And he takes care of you every day in every minute detail. And then at that moment, you really feel thankful to God. You really know him and worship him. That's a real worshiper of God. If you don't know him, it's not real worship. You don't know how great he is. And then you just blah, blah, blah. Oh, you are so great. You are so merciful. In fact, every day you are so miserable. What does he help you? Nothing. Then you tell lies. You can only say, God, you are so merciful. You are so loving. You are so compassionate. When you know how he compassionate, where, how, in which way that he helps you, how he takes care of you every day, then your words are true. And your worship is sincere. Understand? And you throw yourself at his feet and become one with him. And that's the true way to God. It's no religion. It's no dogmatic things. Not blind belief. Not blah blah repeating, but knowing, realizing, seeing. And contacting. And that is the real path. I have no Catholic path, no Buddhist path, no Lotus path, no lily path. I have only one path. It's God's path. If you know the light, you know God, that is the true way. Yeah? That's all. Okay? And don't feel any conflict. Even if now you believe in Lotus school, God would not punish you. It doesn't mean you betray him. He only feels touched by your devotion and your blind search for him. He would help you only because of your sincerity. Therefore, he sent me here to tell you how to find him. Not through the lotus repeating, not through the scripture, but through your own self-realization. He would not punish you. You will not betray any God. It is your sincerity that counts. It doesn't matter where you go. You only carry God in your heart. No? You only want to know him. That's why you come here, you go there, you ask this master, ask that person, do you know God? And he said, this way. And then you follow. And then you have found no God. And so you feel struggling again and you go a different way and say, do you know how to find God? And they say, yes. This is only an empty promise. You must know when Jesus baptized people, he gave them light. And when Jesus himself got baptized by John the Baptist, he got the light from heaven, like a dove. So you have to see that. If you see that, that is a proof that you practice the same way as Jesus did. You understand? Otherwise, it is all wrong. It is all a misunderstanding. How many more questions? Oh yeah, I talk too much. Excuse me.
How do you distinguish the voice of God from your own ego's voice? How do we know God's voice?
Oh, this is different. That's why we have to practice. The ego will fall away once we come in contact with the God power. At the moment, we are all doing with ego. We have this person, we have that person. This is our ego. We feel a sense of satisfaction that I help her. I do this for her. But when we are in contact with this supreme power, we lose this sense of I doing things. We see God does everything. And God uses the body. And that body is also God. The one who helps and the one who gets helped are all God. Understand? And you don't feel that separation anymore. Come here. Let me read and answer myself. Any more? Quick. What is the immediate method to enlightenment? Oh, yes, that I will teach you at the time of transmission. Because this method does not use language. I will sit there quietly and then you get it. And now I talk too much. It's only advertising for cookies. How long will we travel to the universe? This is very quick. At the time of transmission, you might get it. But for some persons, it takes a little bit longer. It depends on how virtuous you are from the past life and how much you believe in the master power. Why does energy follow the path of least resistance? I do not understand this, I'm afraid. You have to clear it up for me. Please bless me with every way. May I ask this? Oh, yeah. Thank you, merci. Oh, you are so kind. Even got your address here. People already put their address here. Very good. You can only bless yourself. I cannot bless you. Marine, I cannot bless you. You have the blessing power within you. I can only show you how to use it. If I could bless you, then I could bless the whole world. Then I would not need to come here. I stay at home and bless. I cannot cheat you. I cannot tell you I can do for you everything. You must make a commitment. First, you must sacrifice something. You must show your sincerity to God. You must be a vegan. You must devote some of your time every day to contact Him. Every day He waits for you, but you are busy. Every day He wants to give you blessing, you're busy. I can bless you also, but only if you make the first step by getting initiation, and we are together, and then we can connect. Now at the moment, my telephone and yours are cut off. And whatever blessing comes, it will come to the middle and then it will come back to me. Just like I talk to myself on the phone and you hear nothing at the other end because the telephone is disconnected. So at the initiation, we are connected. The telephone is fixed again. And then all my blessings will become yours. I reserve nothing for myself. You're free to take all my blessings, but at the moment you cannot take it. Not to a certain degree. You take a little bit, yes. Of course, you take a little bit, but not every way as you asked. Bless me in every way. This you can only do by your own effort. Even I can bless you a little only. So do it yourself. How to practice to become a Buddha? Oh, this I will also tell you when I transmit this silent power. It's easy. We can do that at the time of initiation. Do you want it today? Give it today? Today initiation? I'm afraid you have no time. You can do it until midnight? Yeah? Okay, I don't mind. All right, then I stay and give you initiation. Who wants initiation? Now you have to go outside and quickly fill the form. The others stay and listen to the answer. The other ones go out because we don't have much time. You go out and let my disciple explain some basic things to you. And then later you come back here and get initiation, okay? Those who want initiation, go outside and my disciple will tell you some basic things that you must pay attention to. The other ones, come closer and listen to the responses. This is one. What is the method? Is it meditation? How long does it take? Yes, it is meditation, but it is not those that you always imagine. This meditation requires no effort. And then how long does it take? Very quick. When you are initiated, you immediately know, very quickly. Just a minute and you get in this contact with God power. No need to wait too long. What do you think of Gandhi and Martin Luther King? I respect them very much. If the world were full of people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King, then I give up my job. Yes, and we all sing together every day. It will be sunshining. It is a pity these kind of people are so here. Don't you agree? Yes. Since you had an opportunity to be a Catholic and you have expressed so many similarities between Buddhism and Christianity, why did you choose Buddhism? Oh, okay, I can change. I can change tomorrow to Catholicism. But what's the use of that? I already told you, whatever you are, you stay there. Because this is only an outer appearance. It makes no difference to the inside. When you are enlightened, if you are a Buddhist or you are Catholic, you are still enlightened. Understand? So if I change to Catholic, none, then people will ask me, oh, why did you choose Catholic? Then it makes complications. I think I stay where I am. How does the method work? How do I do it? Oh, yes. Wait a minute, I will tell you. At initiation time. It works immediately. What is the purpose of life? How can one know if reincarnation really exists? What is the soul and what is its origin? What is the purpose of life? I think we only know it after enlightenment. Now, I tell you so much and you would not understand. You will not even believe me. The purpose of life is that God sent us here to bless this world with our innate power. But we bless so much and then we are exhausted. Our treasure runs out, our power runs out, and we need now to recharge. And we don't know it. So my mission is to come to recharge you. And then you can bless this life, this world again, and then you can go home, not empty-handed, but full and blissful, as you were originally, since the time without beginning. How can we know if reincarnation really exists? I told you already, in the Bible, Jesus also said he's a reincarnation of such and such great past masters. But anyhow, we couldn't believe him unless we ourselves go to the second world sphere and see the library of the book of life. Then we have no more doubts about that. Therefore, there are many people, Buddhist monks or Catholic monks, some of them know their past lives. But the trouble is we have difficulty believing them. And what is the soul? I have told you, the soul, it is our real self, which is now dormant. We have to awaken it. And this is called awakening or enlightenment. And then you will know what the soul is. Now you already know what the body is and the brain is. And after awakening, you know what the soul is. For a mentally ill person on medication, what are the chances for enlightenment? I think if this person understands my talk, then he can get initiated and then get help better every day. No need for medication. If you have come here and understand my talk, that means you're not really mentally ill. You may be depressed or slow thinking or out of society. Because sometimes we think not the same as society and people think we are mentally ill. It may not be the case, may not be. We cannot put up with this society pressure and then people think we are nuts. Sometimes it's like that. Can you display any miraculous power, such as levitation, flying, or teleportation, appearing in many places at once? Are these things not important? No, they are not important. This miraculous power is not important. Airplanes can fly. They are not masters. Insects are flying all over. They are not masters. There's no need to bird people or insects to prove that you are a real master. Even if I could do so, people might think I'm a bird and shoot me down. So I won't do it. I'm not stupid. People have guns. Can you believe it? In this society, a man flying in the sky, you are asking for trouble. Don't you think so? Yes, yes. Thank you. And as for appearing in many places at once, yes, I can do it. But it's not with this body. It's with the transformation bodies, I have told you. And to see my transformation bodies, you have to use different eyes. Or in some very special, blessed conditions. But I would not do it just to prove myself. Jesus said, don't try your God. If I always have to prove myself, then I think I'm not worth your trust. Someone who keeps trying to prove how great she or he is, then he or she is not really great. You must use logic and wisdom talk to induce people to find their own logic and wisdom. If they have enough wisdom, they believe you. If you use this kind of magical trick, the children's game, playing tricks on people, I think this is not worth its salt. Sorry, you can go and find a magician and they will do it. They fly in the air, levitate. This is like the children's talk. My disciples, if they do it, I will scold them and say, you are getting into demons. This is a small thing. This is not worth it. When you practice, you might get into this kind of levitation. Just 1 or 2 times a minute. That means you have some demons in you. Nothing to be proud of and to be talked about. You should not even talk about that. Letting people know you are kind of possessed. A great master would not do these kinds of tricks. I'm sorry. And this is a kind of misinformation from the West. How can we know for sure that there is a God? Oh, we can know when we practice this Kuan Yin method every day. We are in contact with God. We can see God like I see you, even clearer than I see you, because I see with a clearer eye, with a wisdom eye, not with the clouded eyes and a tainted vision of a human's understanding. When we see God, it's more clear. Is Jesus Christ correct, or will there be reincarnation? Jesus Christ was correct. He said, I am the light of the world as long as I am in the world. That means there are others who come afterward. He also says so, don't grieve for me, for after I go, I will send the comforters. Is not so? He said, I will send some comforters to you. That means different reincarnations will come. Other sages, other prophets will come. So he was correct. Supreme Master Ching Hai, my question is twofold. First, a brief description of the practice that you teach. Second, can you imagine any conflict between this practice and others? A brief description is that I will show you how to concentrate in order to contact this heavenly God power or light within, and to hear the inner word or the word of God within. That is basically the so-called method. But to do so, I don't use any language. I may talk to you and explain to you all different kinds of heavens, scenery, or different levels of consciousness. And wherever you are, you may know what your level is. I may explain all these outer things, but the method is transmitted by complete silence. When I am silent, that is when I transmit it to you, and then you will see the light and hear the sound. And now I'm talking, you see nothing, and you hear nothing. So the method is actually no method. It is a transmission of the inner power from person to person, from heart to heart. Therefore, we call it in Zen, 印心. It means heart stamp. That's it. Heart means our power, our innate wisdom, not this physical heart. Therefore, there is no method to talk about really, except when you are in contact with God, then you can transmit it. He allows you to. Understand that? But then, whatever it is you see, you will get enlightened. You will see the light, you will hear the sound, and you will see some heavenly abodes. You may see Jesus, you may see Buddha, you may learn with them something of the ancient wisdom. And that is the benefit from the method, the success of the method. But the method itself is no method. It's only the silent transmission of the lamp, of the light. Now, what is the first real step in order to have wisdom and enlightenment? What is the first step is the initiation. You're willing to let me open the wisdom eye for you. You're willing to let me open the wisdom ears for you. And you're willing to let me open the God blessing power within you for you. And every day you use it. Because I have the key. You hear the saying, Peter has the key to heaven. Now he gave it to me. Page 105 of your booklet, 6th line. First, how do you handle the problem of inner sound? Is that right? Example, high frequencies. After a period of gestation can be registered by the human fetus inside the womb. The implications of gestation, since it logically leads to inner sound frequencies, programming a response after birth. I'm afraid that I'm not as intelligent as you. May this person enlighten me a little bit more? May I hear some enlightening explanation? Gone. Oh, then the problem is solved. When I go home, I will look into it a little bit more than I understand because of the writing. What do you mean by inside the womb there is already vibration? He understood differently from what I wrote. That is a different thing. I did not write like that in my book. In my book, I said that the babies in the womb have contact with this wondrous sound. Therefore, he's very happy. And when he's upside down, even he's still happy. He doesn't feel drowned and dissatisfied because he is in contact with the God power. That's what I mean. And he talks about frequencies and the ones that can hear with the apparatus of science. How can we stop looking at people we think we know through the images of the past? Just stop. Just don't look. How can we let go of grievances that keep us stuck in our miserable state? Yeah, that's true. Yes, we have to go out of it. Get initiation and feel lifted up. All the burdens will be washed away. Even when your parents die, you know where they are going and you don't grieve so much. You will see the Master come and take them to heaven, so you won't grieve. And after you practice, you see all your friends or relatives go to a happier sphere. And so instead of grieving, you feel happy. And that's the secret of happiness, because seeing is believing. Why do you grieve? Like when somebody left you or died, then you grieve. Because you don't know where he is going. You feel the loss. But if you know where he is going, that he enjoys somewhere, and you can even visit him, then you don't grieve. That's the secret of practicing. That's the benefit, and that's why we must practice. Is it possible for one to achieve enlightenment all by oneself, or must we align ourselves with organized religion or discipline? No. We have to achieve enlightenment all by ourselves. Religion cannot help us. Religions are only doctrines left behind by past enlightened masters. We can only make reference to it, refer to it, to compare with our enlightenment now, to see if we are in accord with the ancient masters, if our methods are correct, if our enlightenment is like theirs. And that's the good of the doctrines. Just like I just mentioned, Jesus, when he was initiated or baptized, actually baptized means initiated. He saw the light come from heaven like a dove. Now, if we got initiation from Supreme Master Ching Hai and we see the light come down like a dove or whatever, then we know, yeah. And she transmits the same method. That is just for our reference. Otherwise, the Bible cannot enlighten us. Any religions, Bible cannot help us get the inner light and the inner happiness and satisfaction. Only the transmission from the real living God power can fulfill all our desires. This is a new one. Initiation requires one to meditate 2.5 hours per day. May I substitute this by chanting Nam Mô Rangye Kyo? I do not want to give up this religion. Actually, it makes no difference to me whether you carry on chanting this or not. I have no objection to your religion. I'm just afraid that if you devote your time to chanting this, then you don't have enough quiet silence to contact this quiet power. Because if we use our mouth, then we are busy. God doesn't come with chanting. God comes all in silence. I will also teach you to chant something, but don't use the mouth, use the wisdom. And then you can also find the light through our method. When one is gardening, growing vegetables, is it in conflict with Buddhism to kill the creatures that eat the vegetable? How should one deal with these lower life forms? If you feel the conflict, then I would advise you, we all starve to death. Because even breathing would kill a lot of invisible creatures. So what shall we do? We cannot eat vegetables. We cannot grow vegetables. We couldn't even breathe. Couldn't even walk because we kill all living things. What is the solution? No solution except to meditate and cleanse this karma, unavoidable karma. We live in this world, more or less we have to kill worms, kill insects. Every time you wash your hands, that is killing. Disinfecting things is killing. But what do we do with this? We have to. But then we have other things. Then we don't do this intentionally. That's a different thing from violence. Understand? We have to live here. So we must eat something to live. We have to breathe. We have to wash our hands. But this unavoidable karma doesn't mean zero. Even though we don't do it intentionally, we still have the karma. It means we still have the sin. So we have to do our method, the Kuan Yin method, every day to clean this out. Then we can be free of karma. Otherwise, there's no way we can be free of killing. I am sorry. Therefore, we need to practice the method of cleansing. Otherwise, you can do good deeds, you don't kill, that's enough. No, even eating vegetables is killing. Vegetables have life. So you must use some powerful power to cleanse this small karma in order to be free. If you like, tomorrow come back. And now I have to convey to people the enlightenment method. And if you don't want to get initiation, please leave now, as our time is very limited. I'm happy to have you, and come back tomorrow again after you have reflected. Come back tomorrow, I still have the lecture. Thank you for coming. All right, yes, if tomorrow people inquire, I request, then I will give initiation again. You have a night to think it over. Thank you, sir.
To learn and understand enlightenment from
Thank you.
Master Ching Hai, please bring your friends and relatives here tomorrow, same time, 7:30
Yes.
p.m.
Tomorrow we will do it again. Don't worry. I think I will give it every day for your own convenience sake, because America is so busy. You can't, maybe you can come today, I cannot come tomorrow. Who knows? Miss a chance. Now, all of you who want initiation, come up front. All of you who do not want today may come back tomorrow. Come in the front and you can listen to me better and can see me clearer.
Russia, go home, now.
Vegan side effect: feeling strong love for life.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Macau is one of them. Macau Animal Protection Law 2016. It is forbidden to treat animal people with cruelty, violence or torture. Such a crime is to be punished with imprisonment of up to 1 year or with a fine. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Gracious viewers, thank you for your presence today for Words of Wisdom. May God bless you for living a life of virtue and benevolence.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите suprememastertv.com, /schedule и suprememastertv.com, /WOW.